alaikum, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, look, they getting pulled over.
Welcome to the Uno podcast.
Yep, he's getting pulled over.
Section interfere or chapter interfere, whatever. Today I have Sister Anaya here.
Nyah, it's not Anaya.
She is a Nyah. She's one of the Nyahs.
I'm the Nyah.
Anaya.
Assalamu alaikum.
What's the questions? They're on my phone. I forgot. Do you remember? What was a time? Okay, sorry. Brief introduction.
I stepped on faith.
I'm gonna ask Sister Nyah some questions about faith because it's one thing if I could talk about my stories, but I feel like when we hear from other people, it kind of helps us make everything make sense. It's like, oh, if she could do it, I could do it. So, Sister Nyah,
I don't know.
I didn't ask the question yet. Is there a time in which you stepped out on faith, or you were afraid to do something, but you did it anyways?
Yes. I think I'm generally afraid to do things, but I do it anyways because I don't have a choice.
Think of one moment. It can be something small, just anything.
That I didn't want to do something, so I did it anyway.
No, that you were afraid to do. Like you were just like, you told yourself you probably couldn't do it, but you did it, and then you were proud. Because
I don't think I ever tell myself I can't do something.
You do. You're always like, oh, I'm scared I can't do it. Nyah, you do that all the time.
Do I say I can't do it?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You do that all the time.
If I say I'm not gonna go skydiving, I can't do that.
No, you do it.
Can't do that.
You do like minuscule things.
Like
I don't
what?
know.
See, I don't even know what you're talking about.
You always are like, oh, I can't do it.
I can't do what? Can you give an example?
I'm trying to think.
See, because if you cannot provide an example, then
But can you answer the question? Is
I
there
don't
any...
know. I have no idea.
This is going terribly.
I told you before you even started the video that I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can. We already talked about my example. I have multiple.
I feel like if I have to do something, then I have to do it.
No, it's not having to do it. It's being afraid. That fear coming up to where you feel like it makes you anxious, or just like you start to die, or whatever it is, but you did it anyways.
I was so anxious.
You speak on the rostrum all the time.
And I'm very anxious. It's a very big responsibility to speak on, because it's not your rostrum.
Exactly.
It's the rostrum of God.
So maybe talk about
Sharing
the
his
first
word.
time. The first time you spoke on a rostrum back in whatever that year was.
2020.
So what was that like?
2021, Savior's Day 2021 was my first time speaking as a quote-unquote student in the ministry class, because that's what Brother Daniel introduced me as, and I kind of got initiated when he said that.
But I remember you mentioning that it was something you didn't necessarily want to do.
That's what was something I didn't want
Speak
to
on a rostrum if you were afraid, right?
do.
Because it's speaking on a rostrum, I mean, come on now. I mean, most people are afraid of public
is
speaking.
that I don't like people looking at me.
Uh-oh, the exit's closed.
The exit's closed?
That's what it looks like.
Are you sure it doesn't just open up down there?
I'm just telling you what it looked like. I'm not driving, I don't know. It looks like the arrows are pointing towards it.
Oh. Well,
but you did not think you could do it.
I didn't
Or
say I
not
didn't
that.
think I could do it. See, that is why I cannot answer your question, because
What?
you ask me things that I think I cannot do.
No,
And I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to help
that
you
there's things that
answer the
I
question.
just cannot do.
What did it feel like?
Can do anything
Like
that
you were afraid, but you did it anyways, right? Speaking on the rostrum that first time, right?
It's like a long ways back.
I'm sure you were afraid,
Years back.
right? It's okay to admit that you were afraid to do something like speaking on the rostrum at Mas Mariam.
I can't
for
recall
the first time.
my emotions from the first time that I spoke on the rostrum. My words were already pre-prepared. I literally said the same exact thing that I said during MGT class, because that was what was requested of me. So I just looked and I read. I read my words. But there have been other times where I have been just absolutely, like, my body is shaking. I am trembling, and I don't know how this is going to go. my words have not been reviewed in advance. Of course, that's always more nerve-wracking, because when you're sharing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to anyone, first of all, you should want to make sure that what you're saying is the truth and nothing but the truth, and that it is correct. Maybe if you leave something out because you don't know, that's okay, but speaking something that is false is never good. And so if my words are not thoroughly combed through before it's time to speak, which they should always be, just so you know, I will be even more terrified, because I always appreciate somebody double checking all of my work to ensure that it is
Okay.
100%.
Praise be 12. We will take that as an answer. Moving on to the next question.
I don't feel like that really answered my question.
Close enough.
Your question was, what have you done?
What was something that you did that made you afraid, but you did it anyways?
That wasn't the question.
That wasn't
Your question was, what did you do? What was an example of you stepping out on faith when you were scared and Allah rewarded you?
Yeah, I asked
And I
that.
said, I don't know.
And you said you don't know. So we're going to move on to the next part. What inspired you to speak on the rostrum, since you brought up speaking on the rostrum for the first time? What inspired you to do that? I know you were asked to do it, but like,
I don't
did you
think
have an
that's a good
example?
question.
How was that not a good question?
What was the original question?
That is the question.
That was not the question.
That's the second question.
What was the original question for the second question?
That is the original one.
You
I have
didn't
3 questions.
You didn't have speaking on the rostrum in that question.
No, I brought that up because you said,
No, I didn't even say it in the first place.
we're going to use that as an example.
I
said
didn't
we're going to
it as
use
an
that,
example.
but
You
I
chose
said,
to use that. How
because
are
you
going
brought that
to
up.
choose my example
No.
for me?
I
That doesn't make
said,
sense.
because you brought up,
I would like,
because I brought up
am
speaking on the rostrum
requesting
first.
a new second question.
The second question
I'm
is,
requesting a new second question. It's not about
okay,
speaking on the
the
rostrum.
second question is,
It is an honor to speak on the rostrum.
when
But-
you are afraid to
Okay,
do
we not
something,
make it right here? Something going
or
on?
I don't know what's happening with anything right now. This is weird. And why are they in the middle
It
of the
says
street?
keep right though, so maybe I can go. It looks like they're opening up
anyways,
the sewer.
we're like 7 minutes now, but who inspires you to do the things that you do?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I think it depends on what it is, you know. Of course, like my boss, his name is Dion Lucas. Shout out to Dion. He is a wonderful architect. He
Okay,
does work for the people.
Can you only do 3? We only have like 2 minutes left.
You said what?
Can you only do 3 people? We only have 2 minutes left. Or
I was only gonna do 2 people.
Okay.
Well, I could do 3 people. See, now you're making me lose my train of thought.
I'm not doing anything.
You interrupted me.
Just time check.
Dion is an amazing architect. He does work for the people. He does work in the community, in black neighborhoods, particularly the South and West Side in Chicago. And just the way that he speaks, the way that he moves, it makes me want to reconsider obtaining my architecture license. So we'll see where that goes. In regards to how hard I push for certain things, my family is absolutely a big inspiration for me. My mother and my father and my grandfather particularly, because they've done so much for me. They sacrificed for me. So now, as their child and as the person that they put so much into, I feel, and it is, but I feel as though it is my responsibility to be successful for them, so that they know their hard work wasn't in vain. All of their sacrifices weren't in vain. They helped me get through college, for undergrad at least, without me going into debt. Now, I did have some really great scholarships, but they helped me throughout college, and they've been pushing me towards becoming a wonderful person. And so it's my duty to them to become a wonderful person, to take care of my family when they get older, to support them and to provide for them the way that they have supported and provided for me all of these years. Now, my third example would be our beloved student national MGT captain, Sister Nyah Muhammad. She inspires me to, she inspires me so much. She inspires me to keep pushing. When I tell you, almost every time, it has been a few times, but almost every time I see her, she is just working. She works to the bone. She gets it in, and she takes care of the MGT. She absolutely does, and she does what she does out of her love. Oh,
You're not
my
going
bad.
home.
I was going to my house. Excuse me. She does what she does out of her love for the MGT. Out of her love for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that's so beautiful. She's an inspiration because we all love the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, right? Or at least we say we do. So if we really love him the way that we say we do, then we're gonna do the work that reflects our love for him, because he loves us. We know that he loves us because he's put in so much to get us to where we are today. He sacrificed so much to give us the truth, to stand up for us when we haven't stood up for ourselves. And so with his example of love, you see how my car like just like kind of like stopped.
It's really quiet.
Yeah, but he demonstrates his love for us, and I'm a witness to our student national MGT captain, Sister Nyah, showcasing the love that she has for us, and so she inspires me to work and to prove and to show my love for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because love is a baby raccoon.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, they're so fat.
Sheesh.
Love is duty.
This is very
And I'll stop because I will always just keep going. Oh, what a cute little
very
raccoon.
interesting road trip home. That was a journey. Well, thank you, Sister Nyah.
I would like a redo with some different questions.
I sent you the message with the questions.
I know,
And
but
you said, I'll think of an answer.
I know, but I never thought of an answer.
The
Because
topic of the podcast is
We pushed the time back. We pushed
topic,
like the day we were gonna do this back.
I told you it's going to be about fear. But anyways, thank you guys so much for
But I
watching.
think you
This
should
is like
ask me
13
one
minutes.
bonus question.
What is the bonus question? Because we haven't really touched on the topic at hand, which is interferes. And the point of
Interferes.
is the mental barriers that we all have that are stopping us from doing the things that we know we're supposed to be doing, that we're being called on to do. And just like talking them
I
through,
have an
getting them
example.
out.
I have an example then.
You know what?
Okay, this is one example. So, you all, I graduated in May 2023 from the UIC School of Architecture. I have my Bachelor's of Science in Architecture. So I am currently working as an architectural designer at a Black-owned firm called Beehive. And Deion Lucas is my boss. So it's Brian Hudson.
There's no lighting.
But
for you.
So since I am newer and I'm younger, you know, I don't have my master's degree, sometimes I get a little doubtful in my designs because sometimes you can be super creative in architecture, and then sometimes you cannot be super creative in architecture. You have to be really realistic. However, there was this one opportunity where I was able to be very creative, but I wasn't too comfortable yet. I was stuck inside a little space because I didn't want to do something and then it was wrong. And so yeah, you made me lose it.
You were in a
all right, well, it's
to
time
where
to
you
go.
didn't feel comfortable. How you gonna just leave it like that?
It's late, it's dark outside.
But how you just gonna
We're
leave the
sitting in
people
a car.
hanging like that?
People be trying to carjack you.
How
It's
are
not
you
safe.
just gonna leave it like that?
We're MGT, we have to be security minded. Thank you. Inshallah, Anur will ask me some different questions next time. Assalamu alaikum.
How you just gonna leave the people hanging like that?
Here you go.
Well, thank you
It's
guys.
dangerous. I'm not about to be sitting there. Please go.
You just decided to cut it off.
Yes.
But anyways, just so you all
It's
know,
dangerous.
we're on our way back home from a mosque meeting. So we're not just out here and about our headpieces these late hours. But thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next episode.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.